Okay. Imagine walking your dog on Muizenberg Beach, and all you see are dead dolphins, dead seals, and dead seagulls. Imagine the ocean's so toxic that you can't go swim in your favorite rock pool or even go surf. Imagine the ocean so polluted that every time you put on a mask, you see more plastic than sea life. Our ocean is in trouble. And right now, it needs our help more than ever. Because did you know that our ocean produces over 50% of the oxygen that we have here on Earth? And here's how. Every morning, when the sun rises over that ocean, these tiny little organisms called phytoplankton float near the surface. They absorb the sunlight and carbon dioxide, and then just like our fynbos, they release oxygen through photosynthesis. But this is not even the craziest part. Every evening, when the sun sets over Table Mountain, the largest migration on Earth happens. It is a vertical voyage where creatures from the depths of the ocean now come up to the surface to feed on this carbon-rich phytoplankton. They then move back down into the depths of the ocean where they store and sequester that carbon into the seabed where it's locked away. And closer to home, we have our beautiful kelp forests doing the same, absorbing the carbon and giving us life in return. Now, if you are willing and able, okay, just join me in a quick short breathing exercise. Just sit nice and upright into your chair, only if you're able, and exhale fully. Everything. Now hold that breath. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Everyone breathe. Now that awful feeling, that desperation to take another breath, that is exactly what it could feel like if we don't have a healthy, functioning ocean. Because every second breath that you take comes from our sea. Now, I am originally from Bloemfontein. You know, that place you drive through on your way to Joburg, yeah? And so obviously growing up, there wasn't much water around, and I didn't know anything about the ocean. Except, sharks are out to kill you, ocean currents will suck you in, and if your brother got stung by a jellyfish, you have to pee on him. Yeah? But there was this one holiday in Mozambique that I'll never forget. And that's where I went snorkeling for the first time. You know, walking into that magical, crystal clear water, seeing those schools of fish and colorful reefs was just awesome. And that moment must have stuck with me because when I was 16 years old and I had no clue what to do with my life, the school sent someone to do a career aptitude test, and that test suggested I become an accountant. So I tried, but it wasn't until it came time to apply for university that it hit me that this is for life. So my poor mom, I went up to her and I was like, I don't think I can do this. And so she went, "My Foxian, no, what? No, what are you going to do?" And that's when I said, I'm going to become a scuba diving instructor. So I packed up at the end of matric after 2 weeks of, rebelling against my mom to a place called Umkomaas, and I did a 1-year dive internship. 1 year turned into 2, and now 12 years later, I'm a scuba diving instructor with more than 10,000 hours underwater. Yeah. All right, my life has never been the same since, I'll tell you, because I've explored underwater caves with my beautiful fiancée. I've come face to face with 4 great white sharks, no cage. I've chased our sardine run along the coastline, and once I even witnessed a humpback whale give birth right in front of me. Because once the ocean casts its spell on you, and they'll know exactly what I'm talking about, it doesn't just change the way you see the world, it changes the way that you breathe in it. So what now? What can we do, and what needs to change? And she said it. We all need to fall in love with the ocean. Because if you truly love and care about something, you don't have to be told to protect it. You just do. You know, you pick up the plastic as you walk on the beaches. You start using it less. You even start saying no to it. You ask, where does my favorite seafood come from? Is it sustainably caught? Because industrial bottom trawlers drag nets the size of a football field across the seafloor, scooping up everything in its path. And up to 80% of what they bring up is everything else, either dead, disregarded. So today, I don't want to end it with a gloom. I just want to encourage you to start small. You know, continue to educate yourself about the ocean. Dust off that mask and snorkel. Take your friends and go explore the local tide pools because there's magic beneath the waves. Take a local freediving course or even get scuba certified. Because that is when you will stop seeing the ocean as just a pretty view. You fall in love with it. You start to breathe differently. So now imagine a world where our ocean is actually thriving. Imagine where our kids and future generations can run along clean beaches and swim and surf in wild waves. Imagine a world where every breath the ocean gives us is protected. I'll take that water now.
So I want to say, from the boy who was afraid of the water to the man who speaks for the ocean. Yes.